Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga. Today I have a mini masterclass about the metal element of fall. This is the last in a series of mini masterclasses that you can find in the Meet Your Meridian playlist. It'll be up above if you're curious about that, or if you live in the Southern Hemisphere and you are in spring instead of fall. This is going to be mostly me talking, and I will at the end give you action steps that you can take to calm your metal element if you think that it's imbalanced. The organs that are associated with your metal element are your lungs, which is the yin organ, and your large intestine, which is the yang organ. The color associated is white, gray, or metallic. The time for the lung organ is 3 to 5 a.m. and the time for the large intestine organ is 5 to 7 a.m., which is why you may eliminate when you first get up in the morning. Or if you are coughing between 3 and 5 a.m., you may have a problem with your lung organ. Maybe. Remember, of course, as always, I am not a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, just someone who has an interest in TCM. When balanced, your lung and large intestine meridians have the emotions of courage, clarity, and integrity. And before we get deeper into the rest of this, I wanted to read you this quote from In My Element. It's a really great book, and this one really spoke to me, this quote. It's a little bit long. Grief is the emotion associated with the metal element. The recognition, embodiment of grief is not about regret, but release, and must be honored when the time requires. Part of why that spoke to me is, if you've been following me for a little while now, you know that my mom passed away about roughly 5 months ago. Unfortunately, Bandit, who you see in this video here, and you've seen in most of this year's videos, was just given a bad diagnosis just this morning. I don't know how much more time we have with him. So you will see him in a few more videos because I've been videoing ahead of time, and so it's sort of out of order. But I am potentially back in grief mode. Okay, going on. The process of letting go allows us to move full circle into the most yin of phases: water, where we encounter the death of one cycle and the emerging birth of a new one. In metal, we encounter the power and peace found in surrendering and letting go. I thought that was a really nice quote, and speaking about how we move from one season into another, and also the fact that large intestine especially, but metal element in general, is about letting go of things that are no longer good for you, letting go of clutter, letting go of emotions, like letting go of grief. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to grieve however long you feel you need to, but sometimes we get really stuck in that place and we need to let go. Okay? All right. So we've talked about balanced emotions of the metal meridian of lung and large intestine. Lung, when it is imbalanced, you may experience grief, sadness, depression, suspicion, despair. And that, of course, is not an all-encompassing list. These mini masterclasses are just a snapshot. They're just a small getting to know your elements. And when the large intestine is imbalanced, you may have trouble letting go. You may feel nostalgic and not in a good way. The target areas are your neck, especially the side of your neck, tops of your shoulders, your torso, especially your lungs, in your diaphragm, and going down to your large intestine. Your lung starts at your chest, goes down the inside of your arm, and ends at your thumb. The large intestine starts at your index finger, and one of my teachers made the note that your index finger is actually one of your longest fingers, and that's one way to think of it, although the middle finger is actually pretty long, isn't it? Large intestine starts at your index finger, and it goes up the outside of your arm, and it comes up to your shoulder, again up through the side of your neck, underneath your nose, and out to the flare of your nose. So poses that may be associated with the metal element include ones like melting heart, and especially a good one, you're gonna have to use your imagination a tiny bit here. Melting heart at the wall, right? So your arms are up, maybe spread out a little bit, pressing into the wall, and you're allowing your chest to come down towards the wall. So really opening up your lungs, allowing for full, deep breaths, okay? Legs up the wall is another one. Now this, of course, is not running on your arms, but one of the ways we can make this get more into our lung element is, again, take your arms out into a T, and palms can be up, palms can be down. If they're up, you're getting more into your large intestine meridian. If they're down, you're getting more into the lung meridian. And then, of course, your legs are actually up against a wall, right? But one of the things to think about here is taking big, full, deep breaths. Not just breathing into your chest, but breathing into your stomach, your diaphragm, down here, right? And then breathing into your chest, your lungs, and also into the side ribs and the back of your body. So really big, full breaths. That can be a great pose for your metal element. And the last one is thread the needle, which is, not exactly a Yin Yoga pose, but that's when you come up into your tabletop position. Inhale, take one arm up towards the heaven, bring it down, and place it through the other, bringing your neck, side of your face and your neck down towards your mat or maybe a block. And so you can see, perhaps, now that you know where these meridians run, how that might benefit your lung meridian. Okay, there are, of course, many other poses that can benefit your metal element. I just picked a few that I like. Okay, so this is going to be a shorter one than a lot of these mini master classes were. I have a few action steps for you. I don't think I've skipped anything else, actually. No, I think I got them all. A few action steps for you. So one of the things we've been doing with most of these master classes about your elements is to flush particular meridians that are in that element. And you can flush both your lungs and your large intestine, especially if you have a cold or a flu. That might be helpful. And always see your doctor, of course. And so flushing is going backwards on the meridian, tracing the meridian backwards once, and then going forward 3 times, trying to get the gunk out and then bring fresh energy so you can balance the meridian. So with our lung, we start at the thumb, we come up the inside of our arm, up to the shoulder, over the shoulder, and in towards our heart, and towards our lungs. And then we go over the shoulder, and down the inside of the arm, and off the thumb. And then a second time, and then a third time. And so we do it on the other side, starting at our thumb, coming up the inside of our arm, on the outside of the outer edge of the arm, over the shoulder, and into your chest area, into your lungs. And then back over the shoulder, down the arm, off the thumb. Lung is one of the easiest ones to learn. At least I found it to be so. Some of them are quite involved. Lung is pretty easy. So before we move on to large intestine, flushing large intestine, so you may notice yin meridians flow from the earth up to the heavens, right? But in this case, I'm showing you this is coming down, right? And that's the proper way. So why is that? Now, I don't know the ins and out of it, so, but most of the diagrams show your arms this way so that when you are coming, over your shoulder and off the thumb, you are actually going up towards the heavens. It is your yin meridian, okay? That really kind of confused me at first, so I thought I would pass that along. Do with it what you will. Okay, so in our large intestine, we're going to start under our nose, about the center of your nose, come out to the side, down the neck, over the shoulder, down the back of the arm, and off the index finger, okay? And then we come up. So we're coming up, but we're really going down. It's a little confusing, right? And then we do it a second time. And then we come a third time. And then off to the second side, starting under the nose, coming out, down the neck, over the shoulder, down on the inside, back of your arm towards the inside, and off your index finger. And then index finger up, over the shoulder, side of the neck, under the nose, and out to the flare of the nose. Second time. It's harder for me to do it while talking. I do this pretty much every morning. I flush several meridians every morning, and then go ahead and rub your hands and shake them off. And that's getting rid of any stale and, stale old energy you've picked up in that flushing. Okay, that's our first action step. The second action step is one that I also do every morning, and I take my hand into my heart space, and I take my middle finger over towards my shoulder, right about here. You'll feel a big dip right there. And then I take the other palm, and place it on top of the first one, and bring the middle finger out towards where your shoulder meets your torso. Roughly, there's a big dip. It's hard to miss. That's lung 1. Helps to balance the lung meridian. And then I inhale. Hold my breath for a few seconds and exhale. Let my head come down. Let's continue to inhale and exhale for about a minute. And this is good to do for 2 to 3 minutes. And last breath, inhale, hold for a few seconds. And then release and allow your hands to come into your lap, onto your thighs, and notice anything you may feel. And for our last action step to help calm our metal element, it's a simple one. It's calming points from Donna Eden Energy Medicine. They're actually neurovascular points. And the ones for metal element are in the center of your head, on top of your head. So it looks like right about there. And you just hold them lightly. And you can hold this for 2 to 3 minutes. So when you're feeling sad, when you feel like you can't let go of your grief, if you're depressed, holding these points lightly for 2 to 3 minutes may help. I'm not saying at all that it's going to cure you, but it may help. Allow your breath to deepen. Close your eyes if it feels safe and comfortable for you. And then release the hold. Allow your hands again to fall into your lap or into your thighs. Just notice how you feel. Okay, just want to do a quick recap of what you've learned today. It's just the tip of the iceberg, I know, but I hope that you found this information useful. The middle element of fall is associated mainly with grief and sadness. The organs are lung and large intestine. Color is white, gray, and metallic. The time for lung is 3 to 5 a.m. The time for large intestine is 5 to 7 a.m. I repeat this information because I know repetition helps me to learn. Balanced emotions may be courage, clarity, integrity. When lung is imbalanced, you may feel grief, sadness, depression, suspicion, despair. When large intestine is imbalanced, you may have trouble letting go. You may feel overly nostalgic. Target areas, again, a simplification, the sides of your neck, the tops of your shoulders, your chest and diaphragm, and your front torso, pretty much all of it. Your lung meridian starts at your chest, runs over your shoulder, down the inside to the outside of your arm and off your thumb. And the large intestine starts at your index finger, runs up the inside of the back of your arm, over your shoulder, up the side of your neck, over to the center of your nose, and out the flare of the nose. A few poses that I am suggesting that are good for your lung meridian are melting heart, especially at the wall, thread the needle, and legs up the wall when your arms are out in a T. Action steps, you can flush both your lung and large intestine meridians. You can hold lung 1 and breathe for a couple of minutes. And you can hold your calming points on the top of your head in the center and hold lightly for about 2 to 3 minutes. All right. So now you have a slightly better idea of what the middle element of fall, what organs it's associated with, what emotions it's associated with, why you might look into it if you're feeling certain emotions. Right about now, well, not yet. If you enjoyed this, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I am a bit scattered. It's a difficult time. We really just got the news. We knew something was going on with Bandit, but we just got the news. It's potentially cancer this morning. I'm getting all sorts of information thrown at me. And at the time of this filming, we were supposed to leave for a trip that we've been planning for a year. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. So, a little discombobulated. I apologize if I come across that way. So, If you did like this video anyway, please go ahead and click the like button. If you want to practice with me further, and in just a minute we're going to have some practices come up on the screen that you can tag onto this information, go ahead and click subscribe and click the bell. All of that helps me to bring more free Yin Yoga to more people. Right about now, on your screens, you should see a link to a vlog, brief one, on grief and anger coping methods. That was a really personal one that I did a while ago when my grief over my mom was fresh. A gentle Yin Yoga to open your heart and process grief, and a release grief Yin Yoga. So these practices are good for everyone. You don't have to have lost someone. It's good during the fall time to practice these sorts of Yin practices. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you have found some new information, some useful information that you can make use of the calming actions that I shared with you, and that you have a great rest of your day or evening.